We still have to develop vehicles which are robust enough to take such a big challenge because nobody wants to sit in a armored vehicle. The vehicle should be light and pleasing to the eyes. I have come through a long way in this area, and I am looking forward to successful deployment of such vehicles on roads. In fact, if such a vehicle is available at suitable price, I will be the first one to buy it. So I'm looking forward to such vehicles, very much eager for their successful roll down on the roads. Hello, everybody. How are you today? My name is Anjali Avasthi, and I'm a full professor at Concordia Institute for Information Systems Engineering. I'm also the Concordia University Research Chair in Connected Sustainable Mobility Systems. The objective of this chair is to promote sustainability, promote connectivity, and promote transportation of goods and people mobility. So in other words, we are trying to develop systems, transportation systems that can ensure efficient transport of goods and people inside city centers. At the same time, aiming environmental impacts and also social impacts. So what is the objective of such automated transportation systems? Where such transportation systems should be implemented? Who will be the likely users of such automated transportation systems? And what are the benefits, societal benefits, economic benefits, and environmental benefits from the implementation of such automated transportation systems? We are looking into what is the market situation for adoption of such systems. In other words, we are looking at market readiness assessment of automated transportation systems. And one of my master's students is conducting market studies and survey studies to figure out how prepared Canada is with respect to adoption of automated vehicles. So my student Mehendi, he is actually looking into Canadian state of art in this area and how prepared we are. So he is looking at market readiness assessment. I have another master's student, Ashwari, who is actually working on the user impact for deployment of such automated systems. So for example, if an automated car was to run through our cities, like Montreal already has pilot in the Olympic Park and in residential area. So if such an automated car was to run, what would be the technicalities associated with the software of such automated cars? How likely it is to be exploited by any, let's say, masked hacker? Will naive users such as old people, pregnant women, kids who are going to board such vehicles will be comfortable using it? Can such softwares be tampered because this automated vehicle, its hardware and software is hidden inside? So we are mostly seeing the walls. So if a kid, let's say, accidentally pushes such system, will it damage the efficient functioning of the vehicle? Will it be efficient in terms of arriving to the destination in time because it is remotely controlled, or is it is self-controlled? So in other words, Ashwari is looking at how likely the software and the hardware system inside the vehicle is likely to be exploited. So we are looking into what is the impact on society. In other words, will a deployment of such systems generate more revenues for cities? Because our cities are already full to their maximum capacity. We have seen high levels of congestion, and Montreal is on the borderline of almost construction and congestion. So they are always, in contrast. So is there any interest for deployment of such vehicles? Because these vehicles are still expected to run at high speeds. They are mostly for public transport at this point of time. So if we are aiming to deploy these vehicles on real roads like the US cities, will it be welcomed? Will it be accepted by the city, and so on? With my students, we have a very hand-to-hand and open door approach. So I really do not make any distinction between a teacher or a student, because we are mutually learning, mutually growing. So we are in a very healthy atmosphere where we openly raise questions and openly challenge answers. The subject we are raising through this chairship is very new. So we need bright minds, and we need also a lot of hands-on experience, because we are not short of ideas. This being an interdisciplinary topic, I am very thankful to Concordia colleagues for open discussion on this matter. But the implementation of such ideas have a long way to go. And this would require interdisciplinary collaboration, not only among the university researchers, but also people who would help the, let's say, roll down or running down or execution of such software, such hardware systems possible. So recently, with the Dean's office, we had a discussion on if we could get a test bed for trial implementation of such vehicles. It will be a very good and hands-on experience for students who want to launch their careers in this area. So I am looking forward to having such a test bed, and we are working in this direction. So interdisciplinarity is a plus, I would say, because often interdisciplinarity people take in loose terms. In other words, we may invite colleagues from different departments and share our thoughts over a coffee, but these thoughts are just, separate. They are standalone. So in other words, like different chapters of a thesis, we take thoughts from different departments and present them as a nice book or as a nice bundle. But for me, this is not really where interdisciplinary takes its stand. Disciplinarity really means that we exchange ideas, and there is a flow of ideas from one stream to another. My background is in industrial management, so originally I was interested in processes, how processes can be better optimized, and this has flowed down into these automated vehicles. So I am now looking into, so my actually area of research has converged from industrial automation to vehicle automation, we can say. So, this is where I was, I would say my destiny brought me, but I like to go into the depths of the subject. And as a result, I have developed great interest in this area over time. And I was also fortunate to get in company of people, actually very strong researchers and teachers and industry partners. When I was doing my doctoral studies, I was involved in several automated vehicles. Actually, I was involved in a lab at INRIA Rocancourt in France, where they were testing such vehicles, three-wheelers, four-wheelers, two-wheelers in automated vehicles, and a lot of European and American collaboration at that point of time. So for me, to see such vehicles is not new, because we had experimented with such vehicles at lab level in 2002 itself. But to let them run on real roads is not what we were doing at that point of time. We were mostly running them in closed environments on through wire guidance. And here we are testing them on real roads. So I think it's very promising. I'm looking forward to where we are going, and also looking forward to collaborate with actually organizations who are working in this area. So I think there is all the material is there. We still have to develop vehicles which are robust enough to take such a big challenge, because nobody wants to sit in a armored vehicle. The vehicle should be light and pleasing to the eyes, and so on and so forth. So for me, I have come through a long way in this area, and I am looking forward to successful deployment of such vehicles on roads. In fact, if such a vehicle is available at suitable price, I will be the first one to buy it. So I'm looking forward to such vehicles, very much eager for their successful roll down on the roads.